We live? Are we here? 2 seconds in, I guess. It is a random Tuesday. Forgot to plug this puppy in. It is 8:01. Time for a random Q&A podcast. I haven't done one of these, I think, in about 3 weeks. So I figured I would go online and answer questions. I did see a couple cool things I wanted to share with you guys. But we'll see where this lands today, right? Van Shank, what's up, buddy? We are doing the random Q&A. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for joining. I'm working on actually a bunch of projects now. I've got this alder body that I'm working on. I actually stained it tobacco burst. So I got that going. Vinny's World, what's up, buddy? And then we're just working through stuff. I don't know if you guys saw this on Instagram. That's live. And then I also, what else did I do? I'm working on the other 53 Les Paul. So, Mr. Mangold, what's up, buddy? If you guys want to give me a shout out, a thumbs up, I would appreciate that. I talked to Eric earlier. Hopefully the guitar lessons went well. Just want to do random Q&A, get on here and chat with you guys and see what's going on. So we usually get a good group going about 10 minutes in. So we'll fill this with some fluff, right? So I do not like the I don't like the swimming pool route at all. I feel like you pull just enough. What's up, Steve? I feel like in this, you pull enough of that mass between the pickups and the bridge that you don't have as heavy as a body in you that you need in the core center. So I really don't like this. I like having a little bit more wood in the center. I really do. I feel it like it's got a little bit more mass in the spots that you need. I mean, think about it. You're hollowing out the guitar right in the center where the strings are pulling through, and then you've got this route right there that lightens it up. So I prefer individual routes. I've always done individual routes. No, this is not a quilt. It's stain, and this is mid drying. It's just alder. I don't know if I have the full video of it on here yet. Oh, I do. Here, I'll show it to you guys. So this one I'm working on. This is a full edit. So we'll see where this goes. That's a tobacco burst. I did the 53. It's funny. I went to an artisan workshop on Sunday by myself. I know, sad. We went through and just looked at some of these things, and I was telling my brother, I was like, we need to do this. We need to do that. So he was there, and I bought some other things I can't show you guys. That's about it. Yeah, the 53 scrape and binding, posted that. That's a really nice top. It really came out well. It's too windy here today to spray. I wanted to just put another coat on. But we got the first bit of nitro. So I think once things settle down in my personal life, I might start doing shows and selling things. I got a bunch of jigs. I know how to make jigs. I know how to do boxes. I could probably do whiskey barrel boxes or something since I've got all these. We'll have to figure that out. But that's for another time, depending on what tools I keep and what tools I get rid of. We'll see. So we're at about 5 minutes, 16 of you in. Thank you for the thumbs up. Van Shank, you won't stay on too long. Sorry. I don't know if I usually go earlier or later when I come on. Depends on who's up. This has kind of become my time slot. I know Texas Toast does Sundays and Thursdays or Sundays and Fridays. So no one goes live Tuesday. So I try and get on here. But I do think once my life settles down, I'll start doing some of those shows, get a bourbon, load up the car, do some whiskey barrel stuff. I got enough of them, right? So we'll see. But my brother did send me this that I thought was interesting to show today. Fender bookends. Look at that. Now that's interesting. I don't know if he bought like a bunch of cheap bodies or those are second bodies that they just sliced up. I thought that was interesting. For $15, I don't know if anyone's ever seen these new. Make a one-piece quilted Strat guitar body. I might have that at home. I'd have to look. I don't know what is. I don't even really know what I have anymore. So once I get going, I'll find stuff, and we'll get back to stuff. We'll see. We'll see what we have. We have no idea what we have. It's been a while since I've been in the house, so I got to figure out what we're doing. But I do have some body blanks. I do have some neck blanks. So I think I've got a couple whiskey barrel guitars that are sitting there too. We'll figure out what we can make. So cool if I still read real books. I have tons of books. I used to love reading. My thing was reading biographies, like real people and what real people did. Fiction to me, I kind of get lost sometimes in my head. But I love I know I don't roll your eyes, like business strategy books. That's one of the things I like. So that's about it. I don't know what questions you guys are working on. I do have a bunch of projects coming, so hopefully we'll be able to make a little bit of money. And I do have a guitar in a box that I need to stain as well. Big Kahuna, what's up, buddy? So I do have the two 1953 Les Pauls. One I'm so far behind on because I don't have access to the special chisels I need. So that one will be done quickly once I get back in the shop. The other 53, the inlays are in. I need a fret cleaning tool so then I could refret it. The other stain is done. I actually decided to do this live versus go work on the guitar. I got a headache, so I don't want to work on a guitar. I had some chocolate earlier. Maybe that'll help. And then what else? I had something else I was going to tell you guys. Oh, the purple Les Paul that you've seen. So what are your thoughts on colored stabilized burl pen blanks as inlay materials? I've used that. Years ago, I used a product called Inlays. And Inlays was before all this epoxy stuff came. You just want to make sure the stuff is really dry and that it doesn't crack. So if you're cutting out pieces, you should make sure they don't crack because once they crack, they're harder to use. But I've used that material before. I actually like using sand. So I don't know if I can find it, but years ago, I was doing strips in guitars when I had a bad glue seam. And let's see if I can find it. Guitar photo library. It's not it. Here, this is it. So I was doing these before anybody. I was filling voids. I mean, people were filling voids, but I was using high color contrast. Here, this is it. This is a malachite inlay. I had a bad glue seam on a burl, and I popped that in. I mean, Paul Reed Smith was doing that on the Santanas, and I ran it when I had a bad glue seam. God, some of these guitar bodies I have are so old. This is from 2010. I have the template for this. It's the greatest body ever. But I got all these old guitar pictures. I mean, if you guys think about, when I was doing this is 2009. making some wild guitars. What else? Oh, I do not have that strip on there, but here, this is rosewood. It's a rosewood body with maple strip to stretch it out slightly. So hold on, I gotta take this real quick. Can I pause this? No, I cannot. Never mind. I can't do that. It won't pause. Hold on, let me just text somebody. Just mute the mic. Nah, it's all right. We'll talk later. Stuff is happening in my world, specifically work. I got so much crap I'm doing. But yeah, I did those inlays. That stuff works well. I just like using sand. You can sand it down. If you go deep enough, it works out real well. So, what else you guys doing? If I still read books, I still think that's funny, Van Shank. I don't know if you're still on. I don't know what else I could share with you guys. I do love, like, I was doing odd guitar shapes years ago. What do you guys think of that? That was one of my first custom design bodies. Oh yeah, if you guys want to email me pics or stuff to talk about at BigDGuitars, we could pin that. Send stuff, Derek, at BigDGuitars, and I'll share. Oh yeah, Mangled sent some stuff. Ooh, look at that. Nice neck. Did you buy that or make that? I'm only asking that because that channel route is always sus for me on these necks. God, I love this shape. That's nice. What else we got here, Mr. Mangled? Ooh, look at that. Where'd you get that flake? Is that a did you spray that? Or you bought that? That route, that channel, that half-inch route is always so suspicious because all of us never use that. But what paint is that? I like that. I like that color. From wife's cousin. Good morning, Neely Bob from London. Isn't it like 8? So wouldn't it be like 3 in the morning, buddy? Hello, Steve Tsunami. Hello, we just woke up from a taco-induced coma just in time. Yeah, I got my regulars on Tuesday now. This was one of my favorite necks I ever made. I can't remember the wood name now that I'm thinking about it, but this was so beautiful. This went to one of my wood buyers. 114 in London. That's early. Oh, I got to do London. We got to do that. Look at that. This is my favorite burst. What's up, Jesse? We were just talking. I am not going to Nashville, I guess, for NAMM. I don't think they're doing it. I was just talking to Eric about that. That's one of my best stains, like that lava fire. I don't know why this looks weird like that. Like, that's outstanding. I love that color with a heavy brown on a popcorn quilt. Yeah, that's this was a guy I was buying from who got arrested for harvesting wood illegally. And I don't see a lot of popcorn quilt like that. Kimball gets it every once in a while, but that's my favorite quilt. Gret Zeppelin, what's up, buddy? Just sharing some old guitars I was working on. This was another favorite. Myrtle Burl humbuckers. So pretty. And then there was a guy on Instagram that tags me all the time that I carved this body and he shipped it out. Then I had a custom neck and I put it on a body that I made. I probably got in trouble for that. Don't say. What else do I have here? My fat leg as I'm watching TV. I miss this guitar. This is my Flying V that everyone stole. So these are just old guitars. Oh, here's another one. So this is a blue. That's quilt, and that you can't really tell, but that's a turquoise running down the center strip. That looks really cool. And I think I have. I don't know if that's black binding or turquoise. I don't remember what I was going to do with this one, but I got that was 2010. Yeah, see, this is that kind of lava look, a little bit more red. But yeah, I've been doing this so long, you forget how much you're a Koa Les Paul. I can't remember where I sold that one to. But yeah, just a lot of random stuff on these old videos. Oh, here, this is a Claro walnut with epoxy filling the void. I don't really like the way this one looked, but it turned out really nice. Is Kimball my preferred dealer? Yeah, I would only buy wood from Kimball now. The guy that I was buying from before got arrested and was, I think he was sent to jail for stuff. But Kimball's the only guy I'll buy from now. I won't even buy quilted maple from anybody else ever again. So if you guys need wood, go to Kimball because I trust him. The conversations I've had with Kimball offline on some of the stuff he's had to thrown out blow your mind. So he's struggles with some quilted maple every once in a while. You get a bad billet and it explodes in the kiln, or it just separates, because it wasn't dried properly. So he's got an amazing set of tools. I will be going out to visit him this summer for sure. We're going to do Derek Kimball and Derek Leonard for a couple hours. I'm going to drag my kids out there or drag my oldest out there and then me spend a couple days in a shop. I think we're going to go to Boston and then go down to Rhode Island, visit him, or wherever, Delaware, whatever the hell state he's in on the East Coast. It's my Midwest. All the woodworkers are in the Midwest. We have an East Coast bias, which I'm kidding because I think there's more woodworkers up north. All right, so yeah, Kimball's the man. Love the walnut. I'm looking for a one-piece strat quilted maple body. I don't have that. I don't have access to all my stuff right now, so I don't have that. Dude, that solar collection system that Dan and Gunter is a beast. I claim we were running most of the house shop until. What are you talking about, Jesse? Like, are you running a solar system battery power for the shop? I know you sent me a text about that. I couldn't remember. Yeah, Eric, I'll bring you the drum sander. See, Van Shank, has anyone made a quilted maple neck? You have to stabilize the shit out of a quilted maple neck. You'll see it in all the necks I have. If you do like a so you'd have to do, if you want to use quilted maple, you'd have to take a one piece, split it, put something down the middle, and glue it back on so you get the added strength and you can route. Problem with quilted maple is a lot of the times it's like, I'm not going to do this correctly. It's like end grain run out. And when they slice it, it starts to do this. And so it's not too bad when you take a top and split it and glue it to a piece of wood. But the longer, look at that. Look at that. The longer you run the piece of wood, the more you'll get the wood to flex. So you can't really use quilted maple for necks. I've never seen it. I think Barlow Guitars might have made a couple necks, if I recall, on Insta, but usually you don't see that. It doesn't work all that well. It really doesn't. Such a dork. Hey, you've been working out, right? I got to show Ben up after he lost all that weight, right? What else are we doing? Yeah, Jesse, what the follow up? I'd actually like to see that. What else? I think that's about it. God, we're getting to 30 people. We had Mangle Guitars send us this. I got better hair though. I got, look at, I did just get a haircut. Woo! Look at that. Doing my first StewMac LP kit. What are the cons and pros of using shellac as a sealer? Shellac doesn't always dry hard. Shellac can dry slightly gummy, and so you got to use really thin coats and let it dry. And with shellac, when you use shellac, oh, why I'm saying it like this? When you use shellac, it layers, it doesn't meld. So when you put a coat on, it doesn't melt back into each other, which is a problem. At least that's what I'm recollecting in my head. It does take forever to dry. I don't like using shellac at all. I wouldn't use it. I would use anything else other than shellac because it is a little gummy. It is a little gummy. I wouldn't use it. Looking something up. Earwax. Wax the fretboard. I do have my whatchamacallit, my I can't think. Wow, talk about a brain fart. My Explorer, my Mango Explorer is here. I have that. I haven't pulled that out. I don't think I've done a live with that. Here we go, Jesse. Oh, this is what you sent me, Jesse. I was wondering when you sent that. I was like, what am I looking at? But Jesse is running his shop off our solar. He's in. Where are you in Kentucky? Somewhere in southern Columbia or something? Somewhere in southern Kentucky. You got the inverter, you got the battery. That's a pretty cool setup. Can you run 220 off of that, Jesse? I don't know. Is that 220? We got two. Is that 2 hots? Columbia. Yeah, see, I remember random crap in my head sometimes. Is that 1? Oh, it is 110 only. Okay. Yeah, see, my problem is when I run that Laguna bandsaw, that's 220 and that's 50 amps at 220. So when I flip that sucker on, I mean, I've only stalled that out twice before, but you can really get that going. Any way of sealing dye that looks matte, not satin looking, thanks in advance. I haven't found a really good matte finish. I do have a satin from Mohawk. Mohawk sells a satin that I've used. I really like that. I can't think of it. It's a Mohawk lacquer satin finish. I really like that. Actually, I don't know if I have a minute to find the pick, but I did do a couple guitars in that satin finish, and I thought it looked pretty good. That's the only one I found. What's interesting about that Mohawk satin is it's very similar to what Gibson uses for their matte finish. So like on the neck, I'm refinishing in the basement, the Gibson that I still need to send out and buff the headstock. That one has got a matte finish that turned out really nice. Jesse sending more pics. Oh, he's pushing 8 amps at 53 volts. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know electricity too much, but that's at noon. Well, it'll only get higher, right? But the Mohawk satin works out really well. It matches the Gibson matte finish. You could use that. Check my email. Did you send me more, Eric? You probably sent me inappropriate things, didn't you? Oh, the Jack, yeah. Why did Eric do a Jack Daniels telly on the CNC? What was this, Barnwood? I can't remember what that top corner was. I can't remember what you did there. I think that's it. 8 amp off the panels, has 16 off the battery pack. Oh, okay. That makes sense. That was hickory. Okay. Oh, 25 minutes. I feel tired today. I've been doing the 5 a.m. workouts. I get up at 5, go to the local park with, I don't know if you guys know what F3 is. Been working out with them, and I am a little worn out some nights. So, like, I'll be going to bed in an hour. I got to shave. This does not look good. It's not a good look, especially over here. And this. Ugh. I'm glad you associated me with inappropriate messages. You may have sent some inappropriate messages while I was going live, if I recall correctly, Mr. Eric. Every once in a while, like my brother or my kids will get on here and start messaging me, and my brother's too busy putting his kids to bed, which is why it's the perfect time. If I go live on Instagram, he'll start like tearing me a new one because he's usually on Insta. So, whew. What's one other thing I was going to share with you guys? No, I don't remember. That's about it. I've got a Les Paul with a buzz on the high frets, 12 plus on the low E and A. Relief seems okay, but there doesn't appear to be a high fret. Is that what it says? Stupid thing. I'm getting more text. Hold on. Jesse, I'll get to that in a second. I've got a Les Paul with buzzing on the high frets, 12 plus on the low E and A. Relief seems to be okay. There doesn't seem to be. So there could be a hump, David. There could be a hump in the fretboard. So if you take the guitar and hold it out like this, you may have where the neck is glued into the pocket. This is when, depending on who made it, I'm assuming, is it a real Les Paul where they pushed down and they pushed up that side, and it may need a slight fret job on that side? I mean, if you're on 12, where does it join at the neck? It's 16? Can't remember off the top of my head. 18, wherever it joins. You might have a push down when they glued it in, and it pushed up that slide just slightly. So it was level like this, and then that one side or whatever side pushed it up. I've seen that before. You may want to just get like a spot check on the frets and level the frets on that side. Here, Jesse sent these. Nick Cardio just made me my first signature pickups. Crazy specs. What are the specs on those? Those are nice, actually. I like that look, Jesse. That's a cool look. I like the open coils that are sealed. That's cool. Hopefully it helps, David. If you get a fret rocker, or if you get like, even if you have like a straight edge, like on your credit card. So if you take your credit card, David, and you take this edge, let's make sure you idiots can't see my credit card number. That's not going to work. There we go. If you get the frets and you run it on this going up, you'll find that on my knuckle here. You could run that going up to and you could see where you need to play with it. Yeah. See, this is when my buddies, Mr. Mangle, sends his bone nut guitar. Hope you're having fun tonight, Eric. It's fine. I was on the phone with Eric earlier, chatting about life. Alnico, 4 magnets on each pickup, 14K in the bridge, 7K in the neck, but 42 gauge, 1 coil 4. Ooh, I'd love to hear those. That sounds, those sound great. I love the 43 gauge wire on humbuckers. I've played with a bunch. I got my notes written down at home. But I do like 42 plain enamel to recreate the PAFs, and then having a little bit more wines with the 43. Yeah. Yeah. I love making pickups. I just haven't done it in such a long time, only because the return for me has been higher on the Whiskey Barrel guitars. So got to go where you make the money, right? You should make pickups, Eric. I don't think anyone's watched those videos of mine in a long time. I think that thing's sitting in the basement, and you get some stickum tape, and you about 5,000 wines per coil, 5,300. Just for me, the interesting thing is keeping the tension on the wire as it's going around. That way, it pulls tight. And then you got to pot wax them, put them in wax for sure. That's got to be done. The fun thing about pickups is you can wind a bunch of them relatively quickly and have fun. Less output jump when one is split and the other when you jump between them. Yeah, that's, when they just wire up, 10,000 pieces and they just go through. Like, the thing with guitars is when you're doing it individually, if you've done enough what makes the best sound, and you kind of know how to get there. And that's the great thing about being a custom builder is when guys start talking about stuff like, oh, gotta do this, oh, gotta do that, yep, this will make it sound better. So I'll give you guys 5 more minutes here because I actually got some work I got to do. We'll do that. I don't see anything on any of my socials that should come through. Let's see. No. Nope. But that's about it. A random Tuesday, a little bit more guitar talk this time versus last time, right? Some guitar talks. Mom's doing good. Had some other stuff going on. We'll talk about that later. If you guys have heart trouble, go get a screen. If you don't feel well for some weird reason, take care of yourselves. A cousin passed away last week. Take care of yourselves. We're at that age. Well, hopefully I'll have more guitar pictures once the shop is up and running again. Hopefully. What's Eric sending me? Yeah, see it. Not going to post that. Going to get me in trouble. You're still young. I am 40, be 47 in April. Derek, what neck pocket is on the Iceman? That's a telly. That's a telly, Steve. It should be a telly neck. Is it Eric sent you're sending me multiple inappropriate emails. The Iceman should be a telly neck, Steve. Is it too small or is it off? Because your telly neck might be different than my template. Hold on, let me look. Because I made that right before I moved into here. That would have been, there's my new haircut. That should be a telly. No, he's talking about this one. That's a telly neck. That should be a telly neck. No, that's a telly. Is it too deep, Steve, or what? Different body, Eric. Yeah, this one was Western cedar with binding and an orange top. Let me know what's going on with that, Steve. I can't remember. Yeah, we'll have more pictures when the shop gets going. But we did 34 minutes and 30 seconds. We'll get back there. It was pretty tight, sliding all the way down the hill. It should be tight. So that my templates are slightly thinner than other templates, so it should be tight. You get better sustain. I rejiggered my templates about a year before I moved out, and I made all of them slightly tighter. So 35 minutes, we are good. You guys have any questions, shoot me an email, Derek Big D Guitars. But we're gonna jump off. Thanks for joining me on a random Tuesday night for random Q&A. We'll eventually do these more consistent. I guess summer's coming. Who knows? All right, we'll chat. See you, Dan. Thanks for joining us, guys. See you. Bye.